Alright, listen, eBay dropshipping is not hard, I promise you. It's just a side hustle that requires a lot of patience. Many people come into eBay dropshipping expecting it to be like dropshipping. That is one of the biggest mistakes because dropshipping itself can make you a ton of money. Many people can easily retire off dropshipping itself. You can make so much money from it, but eBay dropshipping is not the same thing. If you're coming down to eBay dropshipping, you're mostly doing it because you know it's easier and you want to save money by not running ads. That's the major thing about eBay dropshipping. You're not going to have to run ads, and ads is what makes you money from actual normal Shopify dropshipping. So if you're coming down to eBay dropshipping, you know that you're going to make some money that is going to get you up somewhere. It's going to get you up the ladder, but you're not going to be financially free from eBay dropshipping. But despite the fact that it's very, very easy to do, it still requires patience. So that is why eBay dropshipping is not for everybody. Some people come in here waiting and hoping to make a ton of money in literally the space of 1 month, 3 months, or even 6 months. But it can take you up to a year to start earning a decent amount of money. But you have to understand that eBay dropshipping is still a decent-ish or a good side hustle, because if you're someone who is young, you are making money from doing absolutely nothing. Now I say this because there are softwares out there that will literally find the products for you. You're going to just list the products. It's going to monitor the products for you. You don't have to update prices and everything else. Softwares will even ship the products to the customers for you. So you're literally doing absolutely nothing and you're making money from doing nothing. So this is something that you cannot complain about. Everybody wants to make money. So if there's a way to make a small amount of money, then why not do it anyway? Not many people speak about eBay dropshipping just because it's so unknown, and many people do not see a point in a side hustle that is not going to make them exponential amount of money, which is fair, but that is exactly why eBay dropshipping is not for everybody. You have to be someone who appreciates small amount of money. I myself, I have made a decent amount of money from dropshipping. You know, I've made over 50k in revenue, so that is not too bad since I've started, but the profit margin is still something I appreciate. But when I was earning less than £1 on every product in profit, I was still happy with the amount of money I was getting, because I knew that as long as I'm able to get 50 pence or whatever it might be, then I know that I can actually scale this up to start earning more. So eventually, after some time, that £1 easily became £2 and £3, 4. So eventually in a month, when you look at it in a long span, every month I was getting 1k in profit. So that is not bad at all, but it requires patience. This did not happen in the space of 1 month or even 6 months, but eventually I started making that amount of money from doing absolutely nothing. So the reason why eBay dropshipping does not allow you to just make so much money for a very, very long time is because of a few reasons. And these are the things that most people might not speak about, but it's always good that you know before you start, so you know if it suits you or it doesn't. And one of the biggest ones is Amazon bans. Amazon will eventually ban you. That's as if you are actually supplying your products from Amazon. I personally do that because Amazon is just way above all other suppliers. They are able to ship products in literally 2 days or even sometimes next day delivery. So your customer is usually happy about this. Also, Amazon are able to deal with returns easily. You can return your products to Amazon and they won't have any issue with it. They won't even ask any questions. So it's a very smooth and seamless process by getting your products from Amazon. If you are getting your products from other places, which I have not done, then fair enough, that might be a bit easier. But one thing I know about shipping from Amazon is Amazon will eventually ban you, because they will know that you are dropshipping, just because they'll realize that you're shipping a ton of products to addresses that are not yours. The Amazon ban slows you down because eventually you will have to create new accounts, and these new accounts just become a hassle and a headache, and you don't want to keep creating new accounts for the next 3, 4, 5 years. It's going to be a pain. But despite this issue, there are solutions. That's the thing. There are actual companies out there that have made a solution to this. They use their own Amazon accounts to actually ship those products for you, so then you don't have to. Of course, you have to pay for these things, but all of this will come from your profits anyway, so that way this is technically still free. You're not paying for it because coming out of your profit, and then you're still making money overall. Now the second problem is also that eBay will limit you from actually listing a ton of products. In order to make money on eBay, you need to list a lot of products, compared to Shopify dropshipping where you have one product and you scale in on that one product and you run a ton of ads on that one product. eBay, you don't have one product. You want to list products from the best categories like home and kitchen or dogs and pets and stuff, so that way you have several products that customers can buy. eBay is simply going to be pushing your products in front of customers' faces, and eventually people buy these products. But the thing is, when you first start, you can't just list a ton of products because they limit you to about 100. Eventually this increases, but you can't just list a ton of products. So this means that when you first start, you're going to have humble beginnings, and not everybody likes these humble beginnings. So that is why, again, eBay dropshipping is not for everybody. But you have to understand that eventually eBay will increase this number. So as you max it out, eventually they'll increase it over and over again. But sometimes it's a bit more of a hassle for some people. They don't just increase it as easy as it should be. So that's when it becomes a bit of a headache. But for me personally, I'm on 4,000 listings. So that is a pretty good amount if I do want more. But 4,000 listings is enough to be earning, good amount of money anyway. Some people on hundreds, so you can see the significant difference. Again, regardless of this issue, usually just being patient. Once you max out your listing and you're being consistent and you're showing that you're a good seller, eBay do increase this. Eventually they might not, but at least you've made some money, throughout the process, and then you can just stay on whatever level they put you at and you keep making money that way. You don't exactly have to keep listing to make money. Once you've listed a ton of products, those products will keep selling every day, every other day anyways. Now the third problem is automations. Automation is something that is necessary. I actually highly recommend this. Now you can do eBay dropshipping manually, but it's just not the one. It's not worth the time at that point. You're not making so much money that it's worth that kind of headache, because some people want to do eBay dropshipping by just running everything manually and not using any softwares to help them to update the prices when the prices change on Amazon, or the stock when the stock changes, and helping them to process the orders. Now it's just long, because now you have to be on your laptop 24/7. When a customer places an order, you now have to ship it as soon as possible, so then it gets to them in a set amount of time. But obviously with automations, it's just so much easier. For me, it just makes things so easy, because I'm rarely actually ever working on this. It just happens all by itself. The only thing I have to do is just list products from time to time, and even that I have another software that helps me to just find the best products that are selling anyway. Now the next hassle is tracking numbers. Tracking numbers is another thing that eBay requires to know that you shipped the products to the customers. Once that has been done, usually you don't have any issues with customers saying that they haven't got your products, because the tracking number will show that they have received their products. Now this is another easy one. There are softwares again that helps you to convert Amazon tracking numbers into a tracking number that can be used, so you can actually have tracking numbers on these orders, so the customer knows they have them and eBay knows that you sent it, and everything is smooth. And once you have tracking number, you have less hassle. There's literally nothing a customer can do, because it literally shows that you have delivered it. You can see that everything all goes down to people have already created solutions for these things. It's just that people are just not willing. I don't understand why people are not willing, but these are just things that are already in place. All you have to do is just commit. But I think some people just don't want to make money. It's just very hard to comprehend the fact that some people will rather work for 8 to 10 hours to make whatever amount per day by putting in that much time, when they can just put in time over the space of a few months and be making passive income. Passive income is a game changer. Once you've tasted passive income, I promise you, you will never go back. It's just something that opens your eyes, and you just realize that working is long and you don't want to do it, and you'll find every single way possible to make money whilst you are at home sleeping. And now one of the other things that people do not really know is the profit margin. eBay dropshipping is not going to make you 50, 60, 70% profit margin. Most big companies rarely even make that anyway. So it's a thing of the profit margin isn't incredibly high. Personally, I'm around 20%, so 20% isn't too shabby. But I would only really recommend having a 20% profit margin once you have a few, quite a lot of products listed, because if you start off with 20% and you only have a few products listed, no one's going to buy your products, because there's competitors that are obviously going to undercut you. So in this case, it's not one I recommend for beginners, but eventually you can make in 20%. In fact, I even make more than 20%, because 20% on the products, then I'm making more money through points, using credit cards and other ways that I'm saving money on. So overall, this is more like 25-30% that I'm making. So that is not bad at all. So ultimately, eBay dropshipping works. Trust me, it works, but you have to know yourself. Are you someone who can appreciate, humble beginnings? Or are you somebody who doesn't mind making small amount of money now to know that eventually you can be making decent amount of money that will help you whilst working or whatever else? eBay dropshipping is there as a support system to help you to make money that you would then put into something else that would then make you more money. Now I know just one person who makes so much, as in like a lot of money from eBay dropshipping, but they are based in the US. If you're based in the US, you have a lot more opportunities, a lot more products. I feel like it just works well. They're actually softwares that helps you in the US that I don't have access to in the UK, that does more things. So in the US, there's a lot more opportunities. You can have multiple accounts and it's just much easier. But if you're not in the US, then it definitely is a lot more difficult. But just know that regardless of where you are, once you get the grasp of this and you appreciate the fact that you will eventually be making money, if you follow the right steps and don't get banned and everything else, then you can be making easily 1k to 2k a month, which is decent amount of money. Personally, that's just me.